necklace all crooked. What's up, legends? If it is your first time being here, welcome to Legend Vlog. We're back and we're better. We want you bad as ever. Okay, I'm so happy that you are here. Yes, we wanted you to come. We also want you to like and subscribe and to stay at Legend Vlog. Stay at the Botanica with us. Chill for a minute. Have some tea. Grab some coffee. Grab your wood. Honestly and truly, do what you gotta do to get comfortable, because we're just going to chop it up real quick today. Of course, if you already know what Legend Gang is about and you are a returning legend, you already know. Gang, 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 gang. All right. I'm obviously in a really, really good mood. Why? Because many of us, if not all of us, are now fully starting to be acclimated in our new era, in our new life, in our new level, our next level. And right now, what most of us are working on is like self-actualization, right? To be honest, I need to go and brush up on what exactly self-actualization means, but let me just speak about it from language and layman's terms that I can understand outside of like channeling, because I for sure was a channel. So right now, most of us are going through periods where we are learning and understanding different aspects of ourselves, right? While we're going through this, a lot of us are coming up against like certain triggers that we may want to hide because we don't necessarily see them as being beneficial or as being likable to other people in this new era that we're in. This is what Spirit really wanted me to come to you guys and tell you guys today. In this next era, right? In this next journey, in this present moment that you're in right now, you're in a plane where the universe is reacting to the frequency of your beliefs. So if you believe something, that is what's going to be, right? We've done a lot of work on training our mindsets in order to stay in positive vibes as much as you can. When emotions come up that start to challenge those positive vibes, and I'm very hesitant to say like negative emotions, but for lack of better terms, those more darker negative emotions, those heavier emotions, when we start to feel those, we know that we shouldn't push them under a rug and try to ignore them, but instead lean into them. Understand, okay, why am I feeling this? Not to intellectualize it and to compartmentalize it, but to really understand it so that the next time it comes up, it don't hit as raw. You know what I'm saying? For example, right? I'm learning how to ride a bike, right? So the first time I go out and I ride a bike, my mom, she lets go of the bike. I fall and I skin my knee, right? So I obviously on that first day after I skin my knee, that open cut is gonna be completely raw, right? So when I go out and ride my bike tomorrow, because I'm feeling frisky, I'm feeling like I got it this time, I'm feeling like I won't fall, I'm feeling very confident in myself. I'm going to feel nervous when the bike starts tilting this way, and I know that the open cut is on this side. Why? Because it's still raw. It's still a trigger. But when we lean into that fear, right? When we say, I know that the bike is turning, but bitch, I just said I'm good. Bitch, I just said I got this. Bitch, I just said I'm in my divine feminine season. I'm in my divinity era right now. I'm not I'm not getting sidetracked. I'm not getting distracted. Yeah, I hear this fear. I acknowledge it. I know that this fear is trying to protect me from falling. It's trying to keep me from getting hurt any worse than I already have, right? Because that past experience didn't necessarily feel good, right? A lot of times when we're going through things, it doesn't feel good. And I'm a part of a group called the AAPRP, the All African People's Revolutionary Party, which was started by a very revolutionary man named Kwame Ture. he made a speech that I was listening to. We just had like a celebration day to celebrate his life and his legacy a few days ago. I want to say last weekend. And I joined the call, and on the call they played one of his speeches, and in one of his speeches he said consciousness is not gained from peace, because in peace you're content, like you're fine, you're happy. Now please, I'm not quoting him verbatim because I just don't remember like that, but the basis of what he said was consciousness is gained through struggle, right? The whole purpose of getting conscious is just to raise your awareness, to be more aware of what's going on, right? That cannot come from, like, peace, blissful. I mean, it can, but like there's not gonna be a big reputable change that comes from that, because if everything is good, peaceful, nice, quiet, serene, there's kind of no need for an elevation of consciousness. There's no need for that revolutionary change. There's no need, you know what I'm saying? Kind of lost it in what I was talking about. But what spirit really wanted to come and talk to you guys about today is just not to get distracted, because especially at the beginning of your journey, you'll notice that when things are not even necessarily slow, but when things are kind of quiet, when things are new, where you have a lot of options that you can choose, what do you want to do, what do you want to participate in, who do you want to participate in these things with, then you'll start to see like a lot of distractions start to flood in and start to crowd your mind, because everything wants some of your attention. You're divine, right? Everything is attracted to the divine, everything is attracted to the light, right? Fireflies, moths, motherfucking I was about to say roaches. Roaches gonna flee from the light. But listen, because they thrive in the dark. But they also thrive in the light as well, because you got to think about it. Like, their food source more than likely comes from light. Most of their food source comes from light. Granted, they eat a lot of everything, but a lot of food comes from the light. A lot of the things that they eat are or have been living things at one point. So it's still a part of the conglomerate. Do you know what I'm saying? I've also been studying dialectical materialism, where specifically we're studying that everything has a contradiction in its system. However contradicting, the system is ongoing, always constant, always changing, and there's always a cycle of death and birth happening at the same time. There's good and there's bad happening at the same time, right? There's everything and then there's nothing that's happening at the same time. There's explosion and there's silence happening at the same time. That's really what spirit is really wanting you to pay attention to, right? Pay attention to the bigger picture in order to make decisions from your divinity, right? Now spirit is asking us to really step into your divinity. Don't be scared. And I understand that a lot of us, when we get to this point, we start to feel like we feel like we are playing God. That's the terms that I'm familiar with, because that's just what I grew up hearing. I grew up in non-denominational Christian churches. Also, I wanted to say this too. I wanted to acknowledge the fact that a lot of the teachings and the rhetoric that I have been going by personally, and then of course therefore sharing, has come from, and I talk about it all the time, so it's not a secret, but guys, you guys know it comes from traditional non-denominational Christian teachings. Now, when I exited out of that, I would never call myself an atheist, but I just said, like, I believed in the universe, and it took me a minute to really understand what felt good to me and not what felt good because somebody else said that they do this and I just like this person at this moment, so I'm gonna do this because it feels good because now I'm feeling accepted. Codependency is really what that is. um it took me a minute to realize that a lot of the teachings and the rhetorics were more so coming from a very intentional practice of fear mongering. um so let me just give you a little bit of insight as to why I specifically chose to leave the Christian church. It was completely over and done for me when I found out that the King James version of the Bible, first of all, it took me a minute to find out that different denominations read different versions of the Bible and they held that version as their one truth, their one book. They really was, not other denominations, they don't really dibble dabble like that for real. When I found out that the slave masters were using the King James version specifically to teach the slaves how to be good slaves, and also knowing that I have ancestors that were slaves here in America that came from Africa, other places as well, but specifically the transatlantic slave trade. You couldn't put no Christianity on me. I couldn't get with that. It felt like a personal attack. It felt, and not even just to me, it felt like a personal attack to my family. But then we also know that Stockholm syndrome is a thing. So I feel like I started to experience Stockholm syndrome in real life as I was pulling away from it, because what I started to notice was I still had a lot of that Christian fear in me, right? Fear of going to hell, and fear of this demon and that demon, and fear of what if this really is, and fear of what if this really ain't, and fear of, how can we really get down to the bottom of the truth of the biblical teaching so we can know what's real with Platooey. Fear. So basically what I'm saying is the messages are going, if you've been here since the Gen, you're going to notice that the messages are going to change in verbiage and tone. Specifically because I want to help you guys tap into your full potential outside of any kind of religious dogma, specifically that was meant to put limitations on your life and to keep you oppressed, right? And because a lot of us grew up like that, we tend to keep some of those same notions, some of those same patterns, thinking patterns, some of those same habits that we do, some of those same things that we say to ourselves. And at the end of the day, we just have to get rid of all of it. So for example, I know it's very traditional for a lot of people that practice hoodoo to still use the Bible, right? However, this is what I want to personally say. I have found that it is, first of all, let me say this. In the Bible, the God of that Bible, right, says he don't like no half hot, half cold. He just gonna spit your ass out. Well, he ain't say it like that. He said, don't be half in, half out. If you gonna put 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you might as well just step all the way out. Don't be lukewarm. That's what he said. He said, don't be lukewarm. That God don't like lukewarm. He gonna spit you out. Okay? He gonna spit you out. I I I feel like something that we need to understand is when you start to subscribe to these things that have these rules, and especially when it's tied to your demise. I'm just a messenger. When it's tied to a demise specifically for your lineage, for your culture, how can you ever truly free yourself if you never truly cut them cords all the way? Y'all know what I'm saying? The people that get it, and the people that don't. Now, I'm not saying that okay, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you need to put your Bible down. I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not telling you that you need to stop believing in whatever you want to believe, because I understand that everybody has their own journey. I don't think that anything that I've done or said was wrong. I think that it all has helped me, because without going through that, I wouldn't even be able to be here making this video and talking about this with you guys. But I think it's important to stand in your truth, because when you grow, how else can you really elevate unless you acknowledge that there was a new truth that was found and uncovered, right? So we have to be okay with acknowledging that we are gods, we are goddesses, we are divine. When you call on your higher self, I'm almost about to, I'm going to keep saying higher self. I'm really going to say you are divine. I'm going to say, when I say you're Ori, I'm not talking about some spirit out there. I'm talking about you. You are your Ori. Now when I talk to my Ori, I'm talking to me. I don't look up no more. I used to look up at the sky. I feel like I had to look up at the look out the window, look up at the ceiling. No. I can really look in the mirror and talk to my Ori. And my Ori is going to talk right back to me. Know that when you are your divine, you are your Ori. Your Ori is your main Orisha, right? I really feel like that's why in Ifa, it's like the Yoruba tradition, there is so much. The Botanica has a new pet, and she has zoomies right now. So if you hear noises, it's just Scar. She has her zoomies right now, and she's in the blinds. But lost it. I lost it. Be confident in yourself, and know that at this point in time, Spirit is asking you to choose what you want to believe. Be confident in what you want to believe. Be confident in your choices. Don't nobody else really have to validate that for you, because once you start validating it for yourself, people are automatically going to validate it for you, because they don't want to feel dumb. And then on top of that, Spirit is going to send you people that validate you. Spirit is going to send you more people like you, a brand new community. If you haven't already met this community or been in very similar mutual spots as this community, I really feel like most of us, you can think like, oh, I remember when da 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 da. How did you end up in that spot? You willed your way there, right? By acting like you're divine, by moving out of your divine, right? I did pull 2 animal cards, so I'm going to read them really quickly. That was a terrible English accent. Really quickly. That was still terrible. All right, y'all. Chameleon. It says stay in the background and adapt to the situation rather than being conspicuous and attempting to direct the course of events. Okay, let go of that control is what the universe is. You are the universe. So if you see that something is not working, even if it's not given like a tower moment, right? Because tower moments can sometimes feel like everything just like, I don't know what's going on, bro. Everything just kind of being uprooted right now. But even if there's just some wonkiness, if it's some murkiness, if it's some stickiness, sometimes you don't have to always play Inspector Gadget. Sometimes you don't always have to run to your tarot card. Sometimes you don't have to always assume that somebody is putting some energy on you. or like doing something to you, like they might be talking about you. See, this is where the belief comes in, y'all. And I think that's really why Spirit wanted me to talk about this. Sometimes when you think that people are like putting stuff on you or like doing work, like they might be jealous and like talking about you in their little group chats, but unless you really pay attention to it, that shit's not gonna hit y'all. Can I tell y'all, I've had 3 people in my life knowingly. One person, I have no idea who it was, but I know that they did some shit for sure. 3 people in my life have tried to send me curse work and or hexes, whatever you want to call it, right? Black magic, hexes, curse, whatever you want to call it. 3 people, 3 different people. One was what I call her. I feel like we were starting to get very, very close in a friend group, and something happened with a man that I was not even interested in. That's neither here nor there. Then there was another friend. Something happened in like a collaboration work environment, got really super weird. I don't know. Ain't none of my business no more. Didn't hit me, got bounced back or something. I don't know. I ain't never felt shit for real. The third one, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it probably came from YouTube. Probably something that I said just offended somebody. I understand that these readings aren't for everybody. Neither here nor there. People's spell work, they hexes, they curses, all of that shit don't hit the divine. Have you, listen, and I know we take God very seriously, but I know y'all have been in situations, scenarios, even if it wasn't in real life, if it was just a movie, like y'all have heard people cuss out God before. Y'all have heard people say F God. People that don't believe in God can say F God freely, and guess what? They gonna live their next 30 days happily. They gonna get their paycheck on time. They gonna live a very normal life for the most part, because I mean, they don't believe in it. That's not to say that God isn't real. That's just to say that the universe is operating off their beliefs, and it's just is mirroring their beliefs back to them in the way that is mirroring their beliefs back to them. We really don't have no control over how the universe mirrors itself back to itself, aka other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like we really kind of don't really have a huge amount of control on the way that the universe mirrors itself back to us, unless we actively choose just to act different. But sometimes it just ain't in us to act different yet. So no matter how much you try, you just got to go through your process, because you had to mature. You know what I'm saying? So Spirit is asking you to just look at these situations differently. Maybe it's not somebody always, like doing work or sending you something. Maybe you are just too concerned with what the fuck they doing. Like, try to inspire yourself to do something else with that energy. Like, that's a lot of swords energy. So one thing that I think about when I think about swords energy, first of all, I think about dance, because I think about moving in the air. Another thing that I think about swimming, because swimming challenges your ability to air. It kind of restricts like your air a little bit, while you're also really working out your body. So you're able to sweat, you're able to let go of a lot of like adrenaline. It probably decreases your cortisol for sure, while increasing those like more pleasurable hormones, serotonin, dopamine, right? Just doing the heavy breath work, right? Like dragon breaths, just doing things to activate your senses, kind of something to give you a natural head high is what I'm thinking, as well. Like maybe, like I know we talked about before, standing on your hands upside down, just like literally get like this and try to kick your legs up on the wall. See how long, like do that for a little bit. That might even be a challenge to get your booty on up there on the wall. And once you get up there, see how long you can stay there for like 15 seconds or so. But this is just getting you, it's almost like getting you back it's like a jerk to get you back grounded, because right now your senses are kind of out of whack because you too in tune with the frequency of somebody else. Baby, you tuned into their come up. They don't give a fuck about what your come up is. They're actually tearing down your come up because you're giving your energy to them. You are freely giving your energy to them, and I know you don't see it like that. You think you looking out for yourself and being extra aware and protecting yourself, but what you're doing is you're actually giving your energy to them through fear. The second card says use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problems or to get your answers, right? So again, calling on your divine, right? Your divine, that's your intuition. Your goddess energy, your God energy, that's your intuition. Your intellect, that's your human mind. That's what you know. That's the knowledge and the wisdom that you've acquired from application here on earth, you know, getting to it, getting busy. That's your intellect. Use both, right? You are a spirit having that human experience. We're not saying discount the human part, because you can't. I mean, you can't. Like, you're gonna feel it. You can't discount the human part. But what you can do is you can integrate. And we've been talking about integrating the mind and the heart. Now we're really working on integrating the Ori and the human, right? The Ori and the human aspect. They're needing to become one, truly becoming one, not on some BS like we not calling down on our Ori no more. I'm just talking to my Ori in the mirror. Like, I'm just talking to my Ori in the air, and my Ori is responding because I am my Ori, and my Ori is me, and we are we, and I am she, and she is me, and I am you, and you is me, and I am we. Period. Like, what's understood don't have to be explained. Also, we have the panda. Create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or your place of work. Create a sanctuary space, a space where you can go to meditate, or maybe a space in front of your ancestral altar. Make an ancestral altar. If you don't have an ancestral altar, that'll remind you to pay homage and reverence to your spirits. Also, I just heard make a self altar, a self-love altar, or maybe a beauty altar. Maybe that's for somebody specific. You might be in the beauty industry, or you might be wondering how to amp up your confidence. Girl, get into that beauty. Girl, get into that makeup. Even if it's not makeup, like, get into really just making sure that you take care of yourself, using different hair products, like that oil that you got all the way back in the cabinet that you haven't used in 7 months, but that shit was growing your hair 2 years ago when you was using it consistently. Take that oil back out, girl. Go wash your hair, put that oil in your scalp, give yourself a scalp massage. Maybe even then take an ice cube and like run an ice cube like on your scalp. I just feel like that would feel so good. Also, that's tending to your crown. Think about how the things that you do for self-care physically in this 3D plane, think about how that can be like a spiritual alchemization of something in the spiritual plane, right? So for example, let's say, like, okay, boom, so let's say I just worked a 12-hour shift at a dispensary, right? I used to work at a dispensary. Worked a 12-hour shift at a dispensary, right? Boom, coming home, my feet are on fire, literally on fire. I really don't want to get and make a whole bath. Like, that's just doing a lot. I'm pulling out my kind air out the closet. I'm throwing in some hot water. I'm not about to boil no water. That's too much. I'm about to get some hot water out the sink. Immediately, I'm going to go and get a few herbs, put them in tea bags, drop them in there. Now, yes, and of course, like my Epsom salt, you know, Epsom salt, like peppermint. I might do like calendula, you know, things that'll like help pull toxins out, like anti-inflammatory herbs. That's what I'm grabbing. I'm probably gonna grab some garlic too to get rid of the negative energy. Again, so just to think, like, and garlic in itself is really good for expelling the body of like mucus. Garlic is really good when you get sick. They say like it's good for colds, it's good for mucus, respiratory issues, breathing well, right? I'm going to put these herbs in my foot bath, and like, yes, at the end of the day, it's gonna make my feet soft and pretty, and you know, like, that's cute to be a woman with soft and pretty feet. Also, I'm putting intention behind these herbs that I'm putting into my foot so that at the end of the day it's really like a spiritual bath. So like, yes, my feet are getting the pampering from the self-care of like, okay, I'm about to do a little foot soak pedicure, but also on a spiritual, on the spiritual realm and on a spiritual note, I'm getting so much more, right? So it's really just elevating your life. I just saw my eyes do something that was really kind of weird. I'm not sure if it was because there's a crack on my phone or because my eyes just did something, but I am really channeling hard. um 3:22 on the clock, that is a 7 period. Spirit wants to let you know that you're doing a great job. You don't have to worry about anything, but they did just want to let you know that your beliefs are leading your experience. So be aware. Look, y'all, you cannot make it up. The divine matrix, interconnectedness, synchronicity, and God incidences. Can I get this out the book? Yes, we're getting this out the book. The divine matrix, bro. We're learning how to work the divine matrix, okay? If you guys haven't seen the Matrix, it's on Netflix. Check it out. They're actually about to get rid of it, so this will be a really great time for you to go and check it out. Also, if you're interested, feel free to look up dialectical materialism. It's actually kind of like the complete opposite of what the Matrix is talking about, but it's very scientific and it's very spiritual at the end of the day. Also, if you're interested in like political education and revolutionary studies, just speaking for myself, I live in the United States, inside of the imperialist core. So revolutionary rhetoric and political education is very important to me. It's very difficult for me to separate my political beliefs and my spirituality, especially as an African in this country. However, let's go ahead and get this out of the book because I want to go ahead and get you guys up out of here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Somebody needs to go play basketball. That might be your out. That's like the Pistons theme song. I'm from Detroit. Like that's like the Pistons theme song. So like maybe somebody like, in order to, we were talking about different ways that you could like alchemize or transmute the energy, like standing upside down on your head, like doing the yoga. Somebody needs to play basketball. Look, that's your confirmation. Go play you some basketball. Go to the park up the street or the YMCA, or join a group, join a club. That way it's more consistent, so you don't have to feel like you just kind of like doing stuff like unstructured. Go join a group. I'm sure they would love to have you on their team. What? All right, sorry guys, I'm looking for it. Yeah. All right, it's definitely probably here, up here. We are in a period right now that's bro, where is this? It's called the Great Maintenance, right? We kind of get two great awakenings, right? The first great awakening is the great awakening where you awaken from the matrix, and you realize, hey, something's not right here. What's that I don't belong here. I don't know. It was like a little video. Okay, anyways. Yeah, the first awakening is realizing that everything that you have known thus far is a lie, right? So that's like the great awakening, your first great awakening. The second great awakening, right, where you level up, is where you then start to understand outside of, okay, like you understand, okay, spirituality, you laws of the universe, okay, outside of religion. then you start to understand yourself, right? This is where you start to discover who you are. One thing is to discover that the world around you is different than what everybody told you. The second one, you start to discover that you are different than what everybody told you, what everybody, all of that was a lie too. So in the second Great Awakening, you start to discover more of yourself. Who are you? What's your real career path? What's the life path? You know, like, who are you? What are you supposed to do? What are you trying to accomplish, right? Then you have the Great Maintenance, where you understand the material world, you understand the spiritual world, you're actively learning the laws of the universe. I don't think we're not gonna say understand as a concrete period type of statement, because I think it's a lifelong journey, but you understand it enough to not get caught up in the same loops and cycles that you did before, with the same amount of like emotional reaction, without being able to bring yourself out of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So that's the first one. The second one, you learn who you are, your place in or outside of the matrix, right? Then you have the Great Maintenance, where you are now actively using the skills that you learned in both Great Awakenings to maintain this new divine archetype that you've acquired over years, right? Mostly, I don't think anybody has done this in less than years. And then you build from there. You find more like-minded people. You build from there. You create, and you just live in your divinity. That's what I got so far. I'm still in my Great Maintenance, y'all. So let me not act like I just know everything. Please don't take it like I just know everything. I'm literally telling y'all as I learn it. That's why I come back all the time and be like, all right, so y'all remember when I said da-da-da? So let me tell y'all what I learned recently, because it's always updating. Like, it's always, the knowledge is always increasing. It's always updating. That's not to say that the previous knowledge was wrong, but it can always be increased. It can always be tweaked. It can always be upgraded. Y'all know what I'm saying? Period. Especially with even more divine collaboration. So anyways, the divine matrix, everything is connected. Let me just read these words really quickly. Interconnectedness, synchronicity, and God instances. Everything is connected. Everything that was, is, and ever will be is connected by an invisible bond of energy uniting every living being from the past, present, and even future. This isn't a new idea. Every great mystic through the ages has understood that everything is one, and now scientists are beginning to provide evidence for it. And is. The best way to describe the connection is as a lattice or a grid. This, I believe this is a lattice. We know what a grid is, but I believe this is a lattice. A divine matrix. We're all points on this grid, and we're all connected through it. It links us to our ancestry and loved ones, aspects of ourselves past, present, and future, and also the ancient and divine wisdom held in the quantum field of the universe. This card shows a giant stargate opening up to the universe and a piece of sacred geometry known as the flower of life. Okay, boom. That's not a lattice, guys. This is the flower of life. It's the flower of life, guys. See? Upgraded knowledge. Here we go. This is quite literally a two-dimensional image of the divine matrix, and the information held within it can help us begin to understand the inner and outer workings of this incredible universe. If you spend time with this image, you'll find multiple images within it, reminding us that nothing is happening by chance, and that even when we can't fully comprehend it, there's a greater plan unfolding. All right, this is the connect. It says meditate on the flower of life image on this gateway card. Okay, I'm going to hold it up, and then there is an affirmation. I'm going to read this affirmation 3 times as I hold the card up so that you guys can look at the card. They said that there are many images within this one image, so if you would like, feel free to drop down in the comments below and let me know, what do you see in this little Stargate opening portal here. All right. Meditate on the flower of life image on this gateway card. I am connected to all beings, all intelligence, and all forms of light, past, present, and future. I am one with the one. I am connected to all beings, all intelligence, and all forms of light, past, present, and future. I am one with the one. I am connected to all beings, all intelligence, and all forms of light, past, present, and future. I am one with the one. I am one with the one. Ashe, 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 y'all. That's beautiful. And then the message, it says, you are in alignment with the oneness of life and the inner workings of the universe. You are part of something great. That means that you are greatness expressing itself. Not one thing in your life has happened by chance. Not one thing in your life has happened by chance. Maybe somebody needed to hear that twice. Also, 2 might be significant for somebody who might be born in February, who might be in Aquarius. Maybe your birthday is on the 2nd. You might have a child that's 2 years old. Or maybe just 2s have been following you around. Or $200 is significant here. Even when you felt that things have been against you, a process has been unfolding, helping you understand your connectedness to all things. There is no need to feel insignificant or lonely. It's also important to remember that the universe is always working in your favor and for your highest good. You may have felt lost, but know that nothing is ever lost. Wow. You may have felt lost, but know that nothing is ever lost. For we are all held in the heart of Source, and love is our connection to all things. That's a great way to wrap it up, because I really feel like at the end of the day, Olorun just really wants us to understand, if we are the universe and the universe is us, if we are the divine and the divine is us, right? There's no punishment for the things that our human mind would consider to be wrong. There's no spiritual punishment for that. There's consequences to your actions. That's a universal law. You know, the law of cause and effect, but there is no divine spirit out there making sure that you get punished. No. Please. You are loved. Right? I really don't care what them religions told you. Maybe those gods were angry and jealous and bitter and spiteful. This God, you, yourself, aka God, aka Goddess, you are kind, you are nurturing, you are loving, you practice unconditional love. Give it to yourself first. Alright? I love you, legends. I love y'all so much. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. This is going to be the first change. We're going to do 15 weeks on Patreon, because I want y'all to move over to Patreon. I want my Legend Gang core to move over to Patreon. I'm not forcing y'all, of course, but I do just want to become more active over there. I also just want to be a little less censored. YouTube is a little strict. YouTube is like that grandma that's like, all of your other friends is outside until 7:30, and your grandma make you come inside at 5. I want to move a lot of the content over there for the most part. Of course, I'll still be dropping over here free content, of course. But I'm gonna do 15 weeks, at least one video a week for 15 weeks straight, starting next week. Yes, hallelujah. Starting next week on Patreon. So, and of course I'm gonna make some of those videos free as well. It's not just gonna be 15 videos that you guys absolutely have no access to. In the meantime, I'm also still gonna be dropping on our regular page, our Legend blog, and I'm also going to be sharing some of that content with you guys, the Patreon content, just to let you guys know, like, what I mean when I say uncensored, like just how it's kind of gonna go and flow and buddy about. Okay, I love y'all. To the moon, to Saturn, to Pluto retrograde and back. Pluto retrograde and back. Y'all know that's a long ass time. Like, y'all know that's a long ass time. Are we even gonna come back the same person? Of course not. Of course not. You're gonna come back with about 3 different dimensions of personality archetypes that are all beneficial in order for you to live your best motherfucking life. Okay? Why? Because you're a legend, and that's just what we do. So if you are new and you stay to the end, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you back. I'm so happy that you stayed to the end. You might really be Legend Gang for real. Let me find out you really Legend Gang for real. And if you're returning, you already know what the fuck it is. Legend Gang. All right, I'll see y'all next time because I'm just chatting and playing. All right. I love y'all though. Peace. Catch you in the next video.